they don't mess with tourists.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so the police don't target tourists. They mess with most locals than they
Right.
mess with tourists.
Yeah.
They mess with the taxi drivers
Right.
and everything else. So for you to catch their attention, there's something that you did or something happened.
Something glaring, right?
Right. Or there was a complaint regarding you, and a lot of that happens when these guys get these girls in the night.
Yeah.
Okay? Prostitution is legal in Colombia.
Absolutely.
Right? But the problem here is you got Venezuelans and you got Colombians. And there's a lot of criminal activity going on here for
And the-
organized gangs.
And the Colombians
And
are being displaced. Right?
Well, the girls are part of the criminal organization.
Yeah.
So, you know, they be drugging these guys, robbing them, you know. Seriously, a lot of it goes on here. Some of it's reported, some is not reported. Medellin was the capital for that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Brothers are coming down here, throwing money at these girls and stuff. They never seen this kind of money, this stuff like this. You know, what's the average monthly salary here?
What's the word?
The mínimo salary. Mínimo, ¿cómo es?
1,500,000.
I'll say it's
Like
like one,
$400.
Wow.
okay?
$450.
So that's a month.
The guys are paying them $300 a night,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
You know,
They make a month's
They-
salary in a day. Or in a few hours.
I'm
but,
telling you.
but,
That's why some girls do it, and that's why
yeah.
Right.
some girls don't.
Well, they travel to here from other places. Their family thinks they're going to work or whatever because they don't necessarily do it in their city.
Absolutely.
Okay, so they come from Medellin, they come from Cali, they come from other parts of the Colombia, and Cartagena is like the tourist capital.
Okay.
And they hustle these guys. And what the problem was that these guys come in with the New York and American thinking mentality, throwing money at these girls that they never seen before. Okay, it wasn't like that 20 years ago. Okay, so now that it's the brothers that did it.
Yeah.
Raising the prices.
Raising the prices of the clubs
Yeah.
and everything else. Talking about, you know, make it rain. And
Yeah.
I call them vacation millionaires.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
they come in and
That's
acting
the
like they're
term.
bosses and you know whatever. And then you bring the wrong element here. Okay, the nice girls don't want to come over here.
Yeah.
So the nice girl that could be your next wife, she don't want to hang out because you're hanging out with these type of girls or whatever like that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
So they did the same thing to Brazil.
Yeah.
They did the same thing to Rio.
Right.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Saturate the market
Yeah.
and change the
They
market.
went down there and
dynamics
started
everything.
make it rain.
Rain.
And the girls are like, hold up, the average Colombian guy don't even give me a gift, and you want to throw this money at me? Come on, let's
Come
go.
on, let's
And somehow, in sometimes a strange but fortuitous way, this energy comes to us where just by chance we just run into people, locals. And the energy and the embrace is so beautiful that here's a brother as we walk through Getsemani, just invites us into the home and says, "What's up, brother?" And here we are in the midst of our fellowship, and we want to bring that fellowship to the viewing audience in such a way that they can really see it, understand,
Right.
unplanned, fully extemporaneous. And
Right.
I just want to pivot to Sly and ask, well, Sly, you're more of a resident here than anything, and from your perspective, I think you've been here for
Well, I've been traveling to Colombia for the last 21 years. As far as being a off and on resident here in Getsemani is the last 4. Prior to that, used to stay inside Boca Grande. And you know, the tower is there, my dentist is there, I used to bring down my dad, used to stay weeks at a time, whatever. But this neighborhood this is a neighborhood.
right.
This is not just tourists.
Right.
Getsemani is, to me, is the best place than the old city. It's right outside the old city. These people here used to be the workers in the old city.
Okay.
We understood the slaves essentially, right?
Right,
Is that it?
basically the indentured workers,
Right.
and then prior to that was the slaves. But
Right.
most of the time, these people were just basically the low-end workers that went in and they lived in here. And this was the hood.
Right.
Was a lot of crime here, drugs, you know, everything that went on in the regular hood. If you want to think of like New York, we think about Brownsville, Brooklyn.
Brownsville, Brooklyn.
Okay,
Understood.
that's what type of people you had here. Foreigners start taking a look at this neighborhood and start looking at the structure of the buildings. Now, if you notice, when you walk the block, except for a few houses, each of these houses are exactly the same width.
Right.
They're not necessarily the same height because the height, the additions to the levels was done afterwards.
Okay.
Right?
But you can only go up.
Right.
You
can't go
left
unless you buy the next property over and then break the wall.
Right.
Okay? And some places have done that. Okay? But you know, coming from Brooklyn, this has a stronger structure than a brownstone.
Oh wow, really?
Okay, yeah. Well, feel the wall.
Yeah, wow.
Okay, so
Solid.
Right.
Solid. It's also a cooling factor.
Absolutely.
Even though it's hot outside,
It's cool in here.
Yeah, it cools off in here, and at nighttime the breeze comes inside here.
Okay.
So people started taking advantage, getting low prices from the people that here didn't know the value of their homes. They were just wanting to get out of the hood.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's like when my family moved out of Brooklyn and my mom moved out to the suburbs, they wanted to just get out the hood. The same dynamic that happened in Harlem,
Right.
Brownsville, Brooklyn, you know, Clinton Hill, whatever, in New York, Chicago, DC.
Right.
It's the same energy that's coming here. And it's here already.
Right.
Okay? So people started seeing opportunity. Also the fact that Colombia became safe in the last...
That is a big deal.
Right. They had a president, Uribe. Uribe pretty much created the safety of tourists to come to Colombia. Was a no-go.
Understood.
You want to come down and hang out any place, man. This was considered one of the most dangerous, especially Medellin.
Yeah.
Medellin was considered one of the most dangerous
Headquarters of
cities.
Pablo Escobar, is that correct?
Yeah.
At that time when that was going on, yeah.
So Colombia had a very bad reputation. When I first took my first trip here, I went to Medellin. Some of my friends said, man, you better be careful. They're getting kidnapping people here. They're doing this, they're doing that. And I was a little concerned. But I had an interest in learning the country, and some of my neighbors, I live in Elizabeth, New Jersey, which is a very big Colombian population, were telling me, you know, take the ride down there. It's not what everybody says it is. Okay? I didn't feel no more different than I feel in New York. Of course, that, you know, you just don't walk into areas you don't know or whatever, and you don't act stupid when where you're at. Yeah. But I didn't feel this fear or whatever, and the fact that people were very, very nice, very, very open. It was, you know, I was like, wow, and I couldn't wait to make the next trip, Bogota.
What would be like for your first trip out here?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What was the driving force or the
coming to see a dentist?
Coming to see a dentist. So just because of the economics, they would be a little bit.
If you notice Colombians back inside the United States, they all got great teeth.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
And the reason why they got great teeth is not because of the dentist back in the U.S. They come on vacation back home and they get their dental work done. They come back home and they go see their dentist, whatever. And Colombians are very, very particular about how their grill looks. Okay, and it's at a fraction of the cost to have your work done down here than it is back home. Now, for example, so you go look for a dental implant, all right, in New York. Now, my insurance allows, I think, $2,500 or maybe $3,000 allowance for an implant.
A prosthetic.
Okay, right? No implants, because not every dental insurance covers into implants.
I see.
Okay, some just covers the basic work. Some just covers, you know, maybe a bridge for $1,000 or under $1,000, and that includes the abutment and the crown.
Right.
Because the implant itself is just a post.
Right.
Then you got to put an abutment on top of that post, and on top of that, you finish it off with a crown. Those are 3 different costs. And here, they take their time. It's not like a factory inside of dental offices. So the time is carved out. So my dentist is inside Boca Grande, Pilar Ordonez. I have recommended a whole lot of people to her. In fact, I got an appointment with her tomorrow. Once I came to Colombia, you know, for the dentist work, I realized that this is a beautiful country and it's an interesting country, and it's multicultural. You know, the lies or the propaganda being spread in the news will paint this whole country as criminals and drug dealers.
Right.
Okay, and that's not the case. Drug use is frowned upon inside
The exception
here.
than the rule.
It is the exception than the rule. Okay,
Absolute.
you know, being a cokehead or whatever down here is not a great thing.
Right. It's frowned upon.
Right. It's frowned upon. So it was a little, it reinforced my thoughts that, I wanted to explore more. So I did more exploring. I did Cali, did Bogota, I did Los Tamales, which is in Santa Rosa. I've been to Pereira. I've been to the coffee country.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful place. It's a beautiful place. San Andres. San Andres Island is probably a copy of my father's island.
Really?
My father's from St. Croix, Virgin Islands.
Right.
The people there reminds me of the people in St. Croix. They speak English. They speak Spanish. They speak a little Creole. The culture there is total Caribbean. You would not even believe you're in Colombia. If you go down to La Guajira has native Colombians, okay? And I'm into anthropology and whatever. Like the Taino people and the Quisqueya people and the people that inhabited the Caribbean prior to Columbus really came out of that basin.
Right.
So those people are what the representative of what the Tainos, the Quisqueyanos, the Hatues, all those Carib Indians, those are the people right down there, and they still have their culture. And you could go down there and you could see, wow, look at this culture. And and the people here, Cartagena is probably the blackest city. I haven't been to the West Coast yet, which I want to go and see. Buenaventura, there's a little political unrest going on in some areas over there.
Understood.
That I would have to go with a guide or whatever. But the black culture here is probably equal to Jamaica. Okay. They let you know they're black.
Yes, sir. Yes,
okay.
Sir. Proud of it.
Right. Proud of it. So Cartagena has its own vibe.
Yes,
and I find that African Americans come to Cartagena and they want to come back.
Yeah.
Okay? One is not very expensive compared to other islands to come to. The prices here are probably a third of what you would find inside Dominican Republic.
That's okay.
Yeah, easily. I know very well.
Right.
Okay, easily. You come here. You can go out to dinner, and the Cartagena is considered expensive. The old city it gets even cheaper when you go outside of Cartagena.
So this is considered expensive in this area, but as you go like on the outskirts a little further out,
the prices go down.
Wow.
It's tourist prices sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes they try to come out with two different menus. When you go to the beach, they want the gringo menu and they give the local menu.
Wow. That's
different
right there,
difference
man.
in 20,000, 30,000 pesos sometimes.
Yeah, wow, man. That's good information.
Yeah, but if you're not, all right. For instance, I'm in Santo Domingo. I order a snapper dinner, a beer, whatever. I'm spending $40. So there's a difference in price. Also, you don't need your transportation here costs very little.
Yeah.
Okay, the cabs are cheap. From the airport to this house is 20,000 pesos, $5.
Right out.
Okay, getting in the cab in New York, you already have $5.
Just get there when you get in the door.
Yeah.
When the door even closed.
Yeah, you're $5 right there.
Me right there. Yo, I'm already charging you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So getting around, you don't need a car here, and the people are very nice, man. For as me concerned, I don't feel that racial tension.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't feel like if I go around a bunch of white Colombians, I'm gonna have like that people like, making me feel uncomfortable or whatever. That's not the case here.
Not the case.
And I've been to Medellin, I've been to Bogota, I've been to Cali. That is not the case here.
Yeah.
That is not. I don't feel that negative energy coming.
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
You know.
That's great, man.
So it's a different thing. And you know, if you're looking to get outside America for a couple of years after this idiot that's in the White House, you know, this be the place it's come, man. You know, it don't cost you much to live down here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's good, man.
Yeah.
So
Sly
would
is
you,
on it.
if someone that's moving from the States here and they want to get some property or something like that, is it considered city or country? Like Cartagena, Medellin, those considered
Those are cities.
So what city would you say they should look into first as far as like what are they?
It depends on what you like. Okay, yeah, it depends on what you like. Some people like Medellin because of the weather.
Okay.
Oh,
The weather's
very,
like spring, very mountain. But then other people like Cali.
Cali, okay.
Okay.
Cali, it's snow. Is it snowing Cali?
No, Cali is hot.
Cali's hot.
It's
I
snow
thought
in
it was
Bogota.
Bogota,
It's
Bogota,
cold.
Bogota is cold.
It's capital. It's very cold.
Yeah, but Bogota is cold, but it's not cold what we consider cold. It's cold what they consider cold. So it gets down to the 50s in Bogota, but it never gets no further down than that. It's also a higher altitude.
Higher altitude,
Right.
colder.
Well, it has a microclimate because it's surrounded by mountains.
Yeah.
And it creates a different. Because you could go outside an hour outside of Bogota, and it's hot.
I see.
Melgar and all those other places are. You go back and it's warm. Once you get outside the city, Zipaquirá and stuff,
Right.
it's hot. Medellin is nice. The weather is nice. You know, people like it. Very hilly though. Medellin. You're going up one mountain, you're going down the other. Cali's kind of flat. The other areas I like is Pereira. Yeah, Pereira is like, you know, it's a couple of hours outside of Medellin. That's nice over there. It's a smaller town, you know. But there are a lot of places here to go. San Andres, one of my favorite places. If you like island life, Caribbean island life, San Andres is the place to go. Yeah. Stop going down to DR on those BS trips in Sosua. Come over here to Colombia. You might be pleasantly surprised. Don't come for the negative, come for the positive. And some of your brothers may want to invest and stay. Okay? It's a beautiful country, got beautiful people. It's a real eye-opener. It's not everything that you believe you see in the news. So, you know, come on down. If you see me on my block, pass by, have a drink, and then just have a talk.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, brother.
All right, y'all. So, boom, just wrapped up an interview with our guy Sly. If you're ever down here in Getsemani, definitely come right here. As you see, they got the famous art walk. If you remember the movie Gemini Man by Will Smith, he rode down this alley right here. And you can see all that in the movie. Sly's place was the first place to be renovated. So, you know, it's a lot of history behind that. Sly's place is Yena's Africa House. Wonderful brother, very knowledgeable. He's gonna give you a lot of information. So check it out. Let me know what y'all think.